The first thing I want to talk about is where do we save this file? This is important because it does not have a location to be saved yet, and you want to make sure you're saving it to the right spot. If we're still in hybrid mode and you are somebody who is using a USB thumb drive to be able to transfer your files from computer to computer, you need to make sure that you have the right folder set up on your USB drive. If you're using a computer and you're sticking with just that computer, we're going to go into your Digital Design 1 folder. If you don't have a Digital Design 1 folder yet, you should probably make one. I suggest you make it in a location that you can find it anywhere. If you're using a school district laptop, I suggest that you use your downloads folder because that is specific to your computer that you're using right now. So going to your downloads folder, you can create a new folder up at the top and title it Digital Design 1 if you want to. When you do that, you can then go into the folder and begin creating folders for organization. If you have a USB thumb drive, you would have wanted to go to this PC, located your USB thumb drive in the files, and created a Digital Design 1 folder. All right, now that we're in our Digital Design 1 folder, it's time to get organized. You're going to create multiple websites. You're going to be creating a foods website with me and then another website outside of here. This is important. You're going to have two websites and you don't want the files to get mixed up. So we need two folders. First folder we're going to create is going to be called foods_website. No caps, no spaces. This is really important when we start getting to the web and how the web works and how when you go to a website, if you have spaces in any of your file names, it's not going to work well. In addition, if you have capitals and lowercase, you're starting to mix yourself up. It's best to stay consistent. So we're going to stick with all lowercase, no spaces. We're then going to create another new folder sitting right next to our foods website called personal website. And again, no spaces and using an underscore in all lowercase. Then I'm going to go into my foods website. Inside my foods website, I'm going to go ahead and put assets as a folder. Assets are things that are going to appear on the web and will be used. And at that point, we're ready to roll. We have our folder of where we're going to put stuff, our foods websites, and we have an assets, which is where like images and those kinds of things are going to go. We're going to place this file, the untitled one, right here outside next to assets. So to do that, I'm going to go to untitled one here in Dreamweaver. I'm going to go File, Save As, and then I'm going to navigate to my folder. This is important. So I'm going to go to my downloads folder where I made my Digital Design 1 folder, then into my foods website. I'm not going to go into my assets. Before I hit save, you need to rename this. This is going to be our homepage of our website. The homepage of every single website you ever go to. When you type in, for instance, something like behance.net, you are going to their index file. It's called an index.html. When I go to cnn.com, if I could type CNN, I am going to their index file. Now you can't tell that you're in your index file, but what I think is important is when you click on something like, let's say I go to US here, I'm now going to a folder called US and I'm viewing a new file. When I go to discover here, I'm now going into galleries and looking into a new file. But when I go to a website for the first time and I type in google.com, how does the server and the web browser know which file to grab? Because every homepage is called index.html. It's a rule. It's what we actually do with the servers and with the web browser. Your web browser of Google Chrome, if you're using it, is looking for index.html on the server. It is not going to find homepage. It is not going to find home space page. It's not going to find any of those things. It's going to find index.html. So when we're in Dreamweaver and we create our homepage, we have to title it index.html. We can then hit save and you'll see that your file will get renamed up here. The next thing we're going to do is talk about coding. And we're going to set up how our code looks in here and look at these different tags.